Somebody pinch me, because for the first time in what felt like an eternity for myself, the Toronto Raptors are on a 9-game win streak, and well, my job is to go through the film and show you guys exactly how this is happening. And well, we gotta get right into it. Before, I gotta call out some haters. When I was looking at ESPN before the season even started, everyone called this team a play-in team. And well, I'm sorry to break it to you, you're completely wrong. And well, there were a lot of people saying quickly it's not worth his contract. At the start of the season, it seemed like that, but now, this guy is a total beast going into these last 10 games. But first, we got to start off with Brandon Ingram before we look at anything else. I really love how the Raptors set a lot of off-ball screens just for him to operate in that mid-range area and get to where he likes to operate in. And you could see against the Indiana Pacers the other night, Brandon Ingram hit a game winner and had one of the coldest lines that I've heard in a while from a Raptors player.
Well, first I knew he was in foul trouble, and I knew he didn't want to be overly aggressive, so he was at my mercy at that point.
He said that Pascal Siakam was at his mercy, basically. But he was right, because Pascal was in foul trouble, and he knew that Pascal Siakam couldn't even try to touch him. So he's like, I'm going to back it up to the half court. I'm going to blitz Siakam and then pull up in his face to hit a game-winning mid-range shot. But I really like how Ingram plays when he is pressed as well, because in this next play, we can see Ingram is getting pressed immediately by his defender. So what does Ingram do? He does what he always does. He does a couple of dribbles, and then he mixes that with a little bit of a bump to create space between him and his defender. Then Ingram slows down to make it look like he might take a pull-up jumper, but instead suddenly explodes towards the right side, and you can see his defender is still sticking on to him, so Ingram hits a fake jumper, creating space for him to finally knock down the pull-up jumper that he actually takes. So what Ingram provides for this Raptors squad is a guy that you could go to late in the game when you don't have anything, and that's what the Raptors were struggling with. A player who could basically handle the pressure, and well, you'll see it in this last play. We once again see Ingram's ability to score under pressure. Here he receives the ball with only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He fakes the dribble to the right and then immediately explodes to the left. But you can see the Pacers defender pokes the ball loose, but Ingram is able to calmly reclaim the possession and then turn around and hit a mid-range jumper like it was a part of the plan. Like, how could that look so smooth, man? But the reason why this does look smooth, the reason why Brandon Ingram is comfortable is because of a glue guy on this team who is also playing like an all-NBA player, and this is Scotty Barnes. The guy literally plays bully ball out there because he knows that he has a player like Brandon Ingram who is smooth and can hit those mid-range shots. So he's like, you know what, I'm gonna turn into a bully. And more importantly, on the defensive end, he is playing like one of the best defenders in the entire NBA. You can drive on him, he's gonna block you. If you try to bump him, he's gonna bump you back. He's just impossible to score on. And I really think that on the offensive side of the game, Scotty has gotten way more comfortable this season. You could even see in this first play, we see Scotty run to Ingram to receive the ball, and then Scotty wraps around until he receives the screen. But you know Scotty likes to keep things simple, so instead of changing gears, Scotty just keeps going straight into the paint, even though his defender is stuck to him. Scotty easily pushed off to create some space. Then when the second Pacers defender picked up on Scotty, he hesitated to confuse the defender and then waited for the right moment to lay up the ball for the Raptors' first 2 points of the game. Scotty is relentless. Scotty is going to be a bully because he's so physically imposing on the court. But this next play is going to show you why Scotty is one of the most unique players in the NBA, because he receives the ball on the perimeter, but instead of taking the three, he decides to bully his defender yet again. He starts by dribbling into his defender and getting into a post-up position. Then he takes one dribble, hesitates, and quickly changes pace while running towards the rim. The defender sticks to him, but Scotty is as tough as nails, so he hits the tough fadeaway without losing the ball. The reason why Scotty is playing so good is because he's using his frame. He's using his strength, unlike other players in the NBA, but I'm not going to go into the names. In this next play, we see Scotty bring the ball up. He gets double teamed, so he passes it to Emmanuel quickly. Quickly isn't confident that he's open enough to take the shot, but then Scotty's like, I'm gonna take over. He dribbles straight into the paint. It looks like he's about to attempt a Euro step layup, but instead, after the first step, Scotty ends up passing it off to his teammate for the finish. Scotty Barnes is truly special, man, but there are a lot of other special players on this team, including Emmanuel quickly, and a weapon on this team that I still haven't talked about yet. yet. Before we talk about that, we need to take a quick timeout because if you're trying to catch a Raptors game live, check out Sleeper, the cleanest fantasy pick'em app in the game. You can pick points, rebounds, assists, whatever you think Scotty Barnes and the Raptors are going to cook up in the next game. And make sure you guys track it live. You could use code MUVSY when you sign up, and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. So just use my code, trust me, and I got you guys. But back to the Raptors, because we need to talk about Emmanuel quickly. This dude started off the season, and a lot of people started hating on him, but I'm like, give the guy some time. And with time, he got much more comfortable. And on this play, you could see how comfortable he got. He passes the ball to Ingram and immediately gets it back. And he slows his dribble until his defender gets hit by a screen. Then quickly shifts gears to get in front of the defender, but now quickly sees that almost every teammate is covered and the paint is still clogged. So he slows down and cautiously makes his way to the paint. Then once he sees an opening, he lays up the ball while trying to draw the foul. And he didn't get the N1 foul, but he did manage to secure the 2 points. I love the way Quickly has been playing, especially driving at the rim. He has improved so much on that end of the game to the point where he could pass it to his teammate, do a little bit of a dex move to get by his defender, and eventually he gets the ball and his defender gets hit by a screen. And now that Quickly is in front of his defender, he can safely close in on the paint. And because the paint defender is occupied with another Raptors player, Quickly has no problems laying up the ball for the easy 2 points. Like Brandon Ingram, Emmanuel Quickly is also good with half-court pressure because he waits for the screen before he makes his move, and once the screen comes, Quickly does a hezzy first and then bursts into a dribble so he can confuse his defender. This confusion gives Quickly the opportunity to attack the paint head-on without needing to do any fancy tricks. Then once Quickly gets close enough, he just lightly pushes his defender to create space once again and lays it up for 2 points. We could see these 3 players have been doing well. RJ Barrett has been killing it, but there are 2 hidden monsters on the squad that a lot of people around the world don't know about right now. And the first one is Jamal Shead. The way he has been controlling the playmaking side for this second unit coming off the bench is absolutely insane. With RJ Barrett out, Jamal Shead has been having a lot of playmaking opportunities, and the way he's able to read a lot of pick and rolls, he's able to read lob plays, and this man is truly a special player, kind of like Mamukelishvili. The man has been dominating, and I genuinely think that he is good enough to start on this Raptors squad. And believe me when I tell you, the reason why this team works is because of Mamu. He could space out the floor vertically, allowing players like Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram to get in that mid-range paint area and do what they do best. Absolutely dominate. And I think not a lot of people are giving love to these 2 players, because without these 2 glue guys, this Raptors squad is absolutely nothing. And as a Raptors fan, as a guy from Toronto, I am so happy to see my Raptors go crazy this season. It's just like it's been so depressing these past 2 seasons, and finally this team is leaving me speechless, and I am excited for what is coming up next. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, almost at 30k subs, and I'll catch you legends in the next banger. Peace.
He was at my mercy at that point, and